Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. It's Wednesday, which means it's brand new comic book day, and new comics are hitting the shelves all across the world. Digitally, physically, you get them any way you want. It's new comic book day, and in my hands is one of those releases. It's a new miniseries, Female Furies, #1, from writer Cecil Castellucci, and then Adriana Melo is the artist, colorist Carlos M. Mangual, and the letterer. Let me grab the letter. Lettering by... no, letterer is Carlos Mangual, and then coloring by Hi-Fi. That got a little messed up. So this is some of Kirby's creations for the Fourth World, like Apocalypse and the New Gods and all that stuff. So the Female Furies are badass characters. I really don't know a whole lot about them. Just a little bit here and there. I always got a sense that they were really, really tough and shock troops and just whipping butt for Apocalypse. And this dives a little bit more into them, but it's really kind of interesting story, and that so the story is basically how the Fury started with Granny Goodness, and then how they are treated by Apocalypse and his other generals. And it's a lot of, like, patriarchal crap of treating them really badly, making them subservient, not allowing them to be out and fighting, which is weird because I always pictured them fighting, so I'm a little confused on that. And it's basically like Granny wants to get them out fighting to prove how awesome they are, and the guys don't want them. It's the kind of everything in a nutshell. And then the ending of it is what really got me interested. The concept alone kind of got a little bit of like the whole patriarchal stuff. Got a little bit boring after when I thought that was just it. It's really weird because it was kind of this comedic tone, but almost like a comedic tone. It wasn't quite working for me. There's just something didn't seem right in this day and age, that it just something didn't click. And then we kind of got through that and gets towards the end, and I don't really want to ruin it, but the end has a twist about it that really seems to be going to take the series in a different direction, which now I'm intrigued. The first 90% of the book is not that last 10%. So all the crap that I kind of went through in the beginning that I wasn't as much of a fan of is not an issue towards the end. So it's a weird comic. I mean, basically, Castellucci goes out of their way to make it to really kind of like crap on the Furies and really kind of show them dealing with this patriarchal crap. So it's interesting, and then you kind of get towards the end, and it hits a trope, and I don't want to get into this trope all this much because it's going to ruin the comic, but it's going in a direction now that I kind of see it. We've seen it before in other things. Doesn't mean it's not going to be interesting, but it's definitely a direction I kind of wasn't expecting for the majority of the comic. And that's probably the weirdest convoluted go-around discussion of a comic you've read. The art is interesting. The art it kind of feels like a throwback to the 80s in some ways. I don't know quite how to describe the style. It's a fascinating style to the art and the comic. It definitely does not feel like a more modern comic. There's a throwback aspect to it that I find really fascinating and kind of had me engaged a lot. I mean, that was the type of comics I grew up with, so to see it in a modern comic I thought was really interesting. So overall, like, it's one if you're like really hardcore into Kirby and Fourth World and Apocalypse and all that, go for it. This might be one that's better as a trade read, but it's definitely an interesting one. I think I'm really gonna have to read that second issue before coming with a full thought on the first one. And I think this is definitely going to be one where the whole is better than the individual issues. So we'll see. It's out in comic shops now. You can go get it. We got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. Tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. There are affiliate links. The affiliate links, we get a percentage of that. So doing that, you support our site, but you should go support comic shops. Speaking of support, I want to thank DC for hooking us up with the review copy. We always appreciate it. We like to be transparent about that. And thank you for watching. Now, if you're into Apocalypse, into Furies, into comics, DC, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy. Keeping it consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.